Have you ever watched a movie that grabs you by the throat in the first 10 minutes and doesn't let go until the credits roll? A movie that stays with you for days, making you question everything you thought you knew about right and wrong. Today, we're diving deep into one such film, Denis Villeneuve's 2013 masterpiece, Prisoners. Don't worry, this is a completely spoiler-free zone, so if you haven't seen it yet, you're safe. We're here to talk about why this film is an absolute must-watch. Prisoners tells the story of two families, the Dovers and the Birches, whose lives are shattered on Thanksgiving Day when their two young daughters vanish without a trace. The only clue is a beat-up RV that was parked on their street earlier that day. What follows is a frantic and desperate search, led by the determined Detective Loki, played by Jake Gyllenhaal. But as hours turn into days, one of the fathers, Keller Dover, played by an incredible Hugh Jackman, decides he can't just wait for the police. He takes matters into his own hands, convinced that the system is failing him and that he is the only one who can find his daughter. This is where the movie truly begins to explore its central, gut-wrenching question: how far would you go to protect the ones you love? This isn't just a simple kidnapping thriller, it's a profound moral labyrinth. As Keller Dover descends into a world of darkness and violence, we as the audience are forced to confront uncomfortable truths. We ask ourselves, what would I do in his shoes? And the terrifying thing is, many of us might not like the answer. The film doesn't give you easy answers. It presents a situation so dire, so emotionally charged, that the lines between hero and villain, right and wrong, become hopelessly blurred. Let's talk about the performances, because they are nothing short of phenomenal. Hugh Jackman delivers what I believe is the performance of his career. We all know him as Wolverine, the charismatic showman, but here, he is almost unrecognizable. He embodies the raw, visceral pain of a father on the edge. You feel his desperation, his rage, and his crumbling hope in every single frame. It's a raw, powerful, and deeply unsettling performance that will leave you breathless. And then there's Jake Gyllenhaal as Detective Loki. Loki is not your typical movie cop. He's meticulous, obsessive, and carries the weight of his past cases with him. Gyllenhaal gives him this distinct physical tic, a constant blinking, that hints at a deep-seated anxiety and a man struggling to keep it all together under immense pressure. The dynamic between Jackman's explosive, emotional father and Gyllenhaal's controlled, methodical detective creates a fascinating tension that drives the entire narrative. The supporting cast is equally brilliant, with powerhouse performances from Viola, Maria Bello, Terrence Howard, and an unforgettable, deeply creepy turn from Dano as the primary suspect. Now, we have to talk about the man behind the camera, Denis Villeneuve. Before he took us to other worlds with Arrival and Dune, he crafted this grounded, hauntingly realistic thriller. Villeneuve's direction is masterful. He, along with legendary cinematographer Roger Deakins, creates an atmosphere that is so thick with dread you could cut it with a knife. The film is drenched in a perpetual state of cold, rainy, overcast gloom. The color palette is muted, filled with grays, blues, and browns, perfectly reflecting the bleakness of the character's emotional state. Every shot is deliberate, every camera movement has a purpose. They use the weather, the desolate suburban landscapes, and dimly lit interiors to make you feel as trapped and desperate as the characters themselves. The film's atmosphere isn't just background dressing. It's a character in its own right, constantly pressing down on you. The pacing of Prisoners is another stroke of genius. It's a slow burn thriller, but don't mistake slow for boring. It's a deliberate, methodical burn that steadily cranks up the tension. Villeneuve lets scenes breathe, allowing the weight of the situation to sink in. He builds suspense not through cheap jump scares, but through psychological dread. It's the kind of suspense that gets under your skin and stays there. The film is a complex puzzle, and as Detective Loki uncovers new clues, the mystery only seems to deepen. It's filled with twists and turns that are earned, not just thrown in for shock value. You'll find yourself leaning closer to the screen, trying to piece everything together alongside the characters. The screenplay, written by Aaron Guzikowski, is a masterclass in tight, intricate plotting. It's a maze, literally and figuratively. The symbol of the maze is a recurring motif throughout the film, representing not just the search for the girls, but also the moral and spiritual labyrinth that the characters find themselves lost in. The script doesn't shy away from asking big questions about faith, morality, and the justice system. It explores what happens when faith is tested to its absolute limit and what remains when it breaks. It challenges our own sense of justice. Do we believe in the system, or do we believe in an eye for an eye? The film offers no easy platitudes, forcing you to grapple with these questions long after the movie is over. What makes Prisoners so effective and, frankly, so terrifying is its realism. The horror doesn't come from monsters or ghosts. It comes from a situation that feels terrifyingly plausible. The abduction of a child is every parent's worst nightmare, and the film taps into that primal fear with devastating accuracy. It explores the psychological toll this kind of trauma takes not just on one person, but on an entire community. It shows how a single act of evil can create ripples of darkness that poison everyone it touches. The choices the characters make, even the most extreme ones, feel born out of a very real, very human desperation. In a way, the title Prisoners has multiple meanings. It refers to the missing girls, of course. But it also refers to the characters who become prisoners of their own grief, their rage, their guilt, and their obsessive quests for answers. Keller Dover becomes a prisoner of his own violence. Detective Loki is a prisoner of the case, unable to let it go. The families are prisoners of their unbearable sorrow. The film masterfully explores these different cages, both physical and psychological. So, if you're looking for a film that is more than just a simple thriller, a film that will challenge you, move you, and haunt you, then you absolutely must watch Prisoners. It's a dark, demanding, and emotionally draining experience, but it's also a profoundly rewarding one. It is a testament to the power of cinema to explore the darkest corners of the human condition with intelligence, empathy, and unflinching honesty. It is a modern classic of the genre and a film that will undoubtedly stand the test of time. It's the kind of movie that sparks conversation, the kind you'll want to discuss and dissect with friends for hours afterward. Have you seen Prisoners? If so, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below, but please, keep it spoiler-free for those who haven't had the chance to experience it yet. And if you haven't seen it, I hope this has convinced you to add it to your watch list immediately. You won't regret it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into great films. See you in the next one.